Welcome back to another adrenaline-filled episode of Rock Revival Reviews. You know what we do here, deep dive into rock and roll legends and the tribute bands keeping their legacy alive. And today we've got a real treat. We're talking about Panama, the Ohio-based band that's out there bringing Van Halen's David Lee Roth era back to life. And let me tell you, if you love that classic Van Halen swagger, these guys do not disappoint. Now, I've got to confess, I was seriously pumped to catch this show again. Full-on Panamaniac over here, and trust me, after seeing them light up the stage, you'll understand why. Panama is all about that larger-than-life stage presence, insane guitar shredding, and raw, electrifying energy. But the real question is, do they capture the magic of the Van Halen we know and love? Stick around, because we're diving into their setlist, performance, and what makes Panama one of the most standout tribute acts on the road today. So, before we go any further, let's rewind for a moment and talk about what made Van Halen's David Lee Roth years so legendary. Van Halen didn't just play rock and roll music, they redefined it. In 1974, four guys from Pasadena, California, including suave and energetic frontman David Lee Roth, legendary guitar player Eddie Van Halen, Eddie's brother, drummer Alex Van Halen, and singing bassist Michael Anthony formed a band that would change rock forever. Their 1978 self-titled debut album didn't just make waves, it blew up the rock scene. From Runnin' with the Devil to a cover of the Kinks' You Really Got Me, they set a new bar for what a rock band could be. And Eddie Van Halen's guitar solo on Eruption, total game changer. To this day, it's the gold standard of rock solos. From 1979 to 1984, Van Halen was unstoppable, album after album. Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning, Diver Down, and 1984 further cemented their place as rock gods. But in 1985, David Lee Roth left the band and dropped an EP, Crazy from the Heat, then Eat 'Em and Smile, taking his wild charisma with him. Van Halen moved forward with Sammy Hagar, but for a lot of fans, the magic of the Roth years was never quite the same. The Van Halen family got together with David Lee Roth in 2012 and released A Different Kind of Truth, but the music failed to rekindle the fire. After Eddie's heartbreaking passing in 2020, any chance of a full reunion is gone forever. That brings us to today, where Panama steps in, on a mission to bring that iconic, fire-fueled Van Halen era back to life. From the very first riff of Ain't Talking About Love to the sheer wild energy of I Can't Wait to Feel Your Love Tonight, these guys made it clear they came to play. Panama is fronted by Rick DeRose. The band aims to take us straight back to the 1970s and early 80s when Van Halen was redefining rock and roll. And digging a little deeper, let me tell you, Rick is one of the nicest and most down-to-earth guys. No wonder they are so successful. I had a nice conversation with Rick and his wife Vicky. Great people. A true asset to the tribute band world. Panama's frontman channels all the swagger and showmanship of David Lee Roth. The high kicks, the wild crowd banter, and the larger-than-life energy. And his vocals? On point. Sure, some of those higher notes might have been just out of reach, but his stage presence more than made up for it. Tony Fondale brought the Eddie Van Halen magic to life. The tone, the technique, it was all there. Tony absolutely crushed it, and you could tell the crowd felt every single note. Then there's Larry Kuchka on drums, bringing the thunderous Alex Van Halen energy. And let me tell you, when you've got an audience dancing to a drum solo, you're doing something right. And don't forget Johnny Olds on bass, keeping the groove locked down while pulling off those essential Michael Anthony backing vocals. That's the glue that held Van Halen's sound together, and Panama nailed it. The stage presence from Panama was electric. They didn't just perform, they owned the stage. And then sometimes, Rick and Tony left the stage altogether to jam out with the fans in the crowd. It felt like a real old-school rock show. The energy was through the roof. After a brief break, Panama came back swinging with a mix of deep cuts and fan favorites from Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, and Fair Warning. The set included Beautiful Girls, Take Your Whiskey Home, and DOA. Then they cooled down the place with a little bit of Ice Cream Man. The real treat came when they pulled out Yankee Rose from David Lee Roth's solo career as an encore. Great nod to Roth's legacy beyond Van Halen. The second set maintained the high energy of the first. Tony's guitar solos were just as fiery, especially on tracks like Unchained and Jump. He showcased his technical skill, capturing the essence of Eddie Van Halen's legendary tone. A standout moment was their rendition of The Cradle Will Rock. It felt like a true callback to the grit and rebellious spirit of early Van Halen. And the finale, Panama, fittingly explosive. Here again is a little sample. Scroll through that song list. They covered Van Halen's entire first album and did an amazing 36 songs. This is a pretty extensive list of music. There's a lot of great Van Halen material, and Panama found the best of their music and filled over 3 hours with it. They played music from all of the original 6 albums and did over 60% of the total original Van Halen song catalog. From the very first note, the audience was all in, dancing, singing along, and throwing up rock horns all night long. People even got up to dance during Larry's drum solo, which is different. The energy in the room was electric, especially during songs like Hot for Teacher, Bottoms Up, and David Lee Roth's Yankee Rose. His interaction with the crowd helped elevate the whole experience. Rick's banter between songs and the band's willingness to mingle with the audience really made it feel like an intimate throwback to Van Halen's golden years, especially with Rick waving a flag and smoking a very large, yeah, you get the picture. Alright, time for the Drew score. How did Panama stack up as a Van Halen tribute band? Let's break it down. Type of revival. These guys are the real deal, an authentic tribute that truly honors the Van Halen legacy, 9 out of 10. Musical skill. The musicianship was top tier. Tony's guitar work was a standout, and Rick's David Lee Roth impression, while not perfect, was undeniably strong, 9 out of 10. Stage presence. They owned that stage and the entire venue. From crowd mingling to high-energy antics, they captured Van Halen's signature chaos, 10 out of 10. Sound. They nailed the sound of early Van Halen, powerful, tight, and full of life, 9 out of 10. Crowd engagement. Dancing during a drum solo? Kinda says it all. The crowd was hooked from start to finish, 10 out of 10. Costumes. Authentic and era appropriate. You could tell they put effort into getting the details right, 9 out of 10. Merch, always get a bonus point if they have merch. Act. A seamless show, though there were a few minutes of downtime between songs, 8 out of 10. Setlist. Playing all of Van Halen 1 and then some deep cuts from Fair Warning, plus Yankee Rose for the encore, incredible, 10 out of 10. Value. 3 hours of non-stop Van Halen goodness, definitely worth the ticket price, 10 out of 10. Final score? 94 out of 100. Panama absolutely rocked it. So, what do you think? Have you seen Panama live? If you have, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Check them out. I've linked their socials in the description, so go give them a follow and tell them Drew sent you. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to keep Rock Revival reviews in your feed. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep the music alive. Until next time, I'll see you at the show.